are you doing today?
Good.
Good. So remember we did in the science? Yeah, we were doing Pluto. Were you? Did you think Pluto was a planet or not a planet?
No, I think Pluto is not a planet.
Right. And I like the way you wrote it because in the beginning you wrote just a little bit, yes or no. You just had a couple of things.
Yeah, then I added more to it.
And then you added more details, and look how much more you did. It's great. So you presented all your points. You made some good arguments. So another word for this is a persuasive essay. Have you heard of that before? Persuasive essay?
I know. It's when you try to convince somebody that what you're trying to think is like try to drag them in, like try to make
exactly. You're trying to get them to come over to your side. So, and I think you made some good points here that would probably convince somebody, right?
Yes.
Say Pluto's a dwarf planet, which means it's a small planet. You said scientists proved that it follows Neptune's orbit.
Yes.
So you had a lot of good points. And I guess you're getting those from the mind map that we did?
Well, I didn't know about it falling on the Neptune's orbit because it was on the news for several days on the NASA reports. But now they stopped it because of money problems.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I like that you started out with just a couple of things, and then when you went back, you added a lot of details and a lot more facts. So I wanted to show you another technique, another strategy that you can use in your writing that you could use on this one, but you can also use it in other things too. So it's called using transition words.
Oh.
Have you ever heard that before?
No.
Okay, so transition, and here's how you spell it, transition, or connecting words. So these are words that you would put to connect either 2 points or 2 words or 2 sentences, just to kind of tie everything together to make it flow more smoothly. So there'd be different times when you would use this, like if you were putting things in order. You know how you would say first, second, third, like you would say first I went to the store.
Like when you write a story about something?
Yeah. So those would be chronological. Or it would be cause and effect. So you'd say, this happened, so therefore that happened, then consequently. So you would use these words in your writing, and it would just make it flow more smoothly and connect them. So when you're doing something like this, what we did here, this is either giving an example or in addition to, because you're adding different facts. So some of the words that you might use are one such, or another, or for instance.
Yeah.
So you could say, I say that Pluto is not a planet.
For instance, it is, for instance, that doesn't prove that NASA orbit, like, you can say that.
Exactly, yeah. Can you see how that maybe flows a little better?
Yeah.
Or let's say if
it
you're...
makes the story more, like, interesting to read. Because you have, like, good vocabularies in it. You don't just say and.
Exactly. Oh, you catch on so quick. And so, like here, you're giving a lot of different reasons. So we would probably use addition because we're adding more information. So can you see some of these words?
Similar. I have used similar. You can say like other. It has different characteristics, which other of them has a similar characteristics.
Or another is another word that you could use.
You can use.
Also.
We all usually use moreover. I've never used that kind of word.
Yeah, that's not a word we use a lot. I mean, it's grammatically correct, but I don't think I've never heard anybody say that. Moreover, but you might want to use it in your writing, though, depending on if you're writing, a more intellectual piece.
More like if you want to grab somebody, like you want to think that you're smart, like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You want to grab that reader's attention.
Exactly, about grabbing the reader's attention. Or, like here, opposition. So what does that mean?
I think it's like a word sign, like you try to, what's it called, uses words, like if you have one side and the other side, that kind of stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I heard of it sometimes when the teachers talk about debates, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly, opposition, so you have 2 different sides,
Yeah.
which is what we had here, right?
Yes,
some
we had
people
2.
said it was, and some people said it wasn't.
Which wasn't.
So, in your paragraph, if you're saying
it isn't.
It's not, so you could also always say something like, on the other hand, if you want to see both sides.
That, like, you're in the middle, that's the part.
Right. So do you see how some of these words could be helpful?
Yeah, I see that all of these mix up like a big story, which can make sense and make you write more vocabulary, help the reader understand what you're talking about.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it helps understand and also helps to just make things flow more smoothly. So I want you to try using some of these transition words here. So first, let's just take a look at a little example, right? So this one, we're looking at transitional words that add information. So sometimes they use to connect added information. So like in this case, we were adding different things about Pluto and why it was or was not a planet. But so here, it's like you may be trying to make a connection and add additional information. For example, there are many different types of cycles. For example, there is the unicycle that has one wheel.
Yeah, for example, they use that as a example.
Well, as a connecting word, so that connects the two different thoughts together. So in this one, or draw a horizontal line across the page. Next, draw a circle on top of the line.
That's like the first one, when they go first, second, and then next, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it shows time. So let's look at this one as a sentence, and then we'll see which one of these you think would fit best in there. So why don't you read that out loud? Stephen.
Stephen is bringing his backpack, laptops, bag, and let's see,
So
so
these are the choices: as well as, and, along with, in addition to.
Okay, Stephen is bringing his backpack, laptop bag as long with. Let's see. Stephen is bringing his backpack, laptop bag. So okay, I know.
Okay.
I think it's.
Tell me what you think.
I think it's this one in addition to a suitcase on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I don't know. It's between along and this one. Stephen is bringing his book bag, laptop bag, in addition to a suitcase on the trip. That's what I think.
Okay, underline it. And you think that one just sounds better?
Yeah, that kind of is better. You can't use laptop, book bag, as well as well, you can use as well as a suitcase on a trip. This could be two. It's kind of hard because they all could be similar to use as you can use it on it.
So really, it seems like you could use any of them.
Yeah.
But you just have to pick the one that sounds best for you and your style of
Stephen is
writing.
bringing his big bag, laptop, as well as a suitcase on a trip. I think it's this one.
Okay, so circle that. I think that's a good example. That makes sense to me. When you read it out loud, sometimes that makes it sound so you can
more
hear.
Professional.
All right, let's try the second one.
A teenager driven age shows a risk of 18 nationwide. Teenagers are more responsible when they're older. Blake, when they are 18, their parents will not be responsible if they get into an accident. Teenagers are more responsible when they are older. Besides, no, we can't say.
Well, you could say that.
Besides, when they are 18. Well, you could say that. That's good.
Okay.
What does it mean? Feature more?
Furthermore, so it says teens are more responsible when they are older. Furthermore, when they are 18, their parents will not be responsible if they get into an accident.
No.
You don't like that one. You like besides?
Teenagers are more responsible when they're older. Also, when they're 18. Also.
Okay.
Also, when they're 18. That's good.
Okay. So you see, all these words can be used.
Yeah,
you just have to pick
the best one.
The best choice for you. All right. So
there are many types of sandwiches. We'll choose blank tuna fish.
There are many types of sandwich choices.
So, other than, there's more. Other than.
Besides, other than, in addition to, as well as, and along with. So you can pick any one of those transitions.
There are many types of sandwich choices, as well as tuna fish. Well, there are many types of sandwiches other than tuna fish. I think that one.
Yeah. I agree.
4.
All right, and then let's try this one.
What's our
poodle?
Our poodle princess gets upset when babies are in the house. Blank. She barks for over an hour at least time baby zoo.
The last time baby Zoe was visiting.
For example. For example, I think it's for example.
Yeah.
Let's keep saying. This is really nice.
Yeah, so this is interesting, right?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Even though we could use all the words, you have to find the right word for you, like the specific word.
Exactly.
Do you do this one? The rattlesnake.
Yeah, so these are more about summarizing information. So something like this would be more at the end of your paragraph. So let me do the first one. So I'm going to look and see look at the list of the words and see which one is the best. So the rattlesnake quickly slithered off of the bike path. Clearly, therefore, or without doubt, definitely they are just as scared of us.
Because they are just really, without a doubt, they are just as scary as us.
Just as scared of us, yeah.
Definitely. Well, definitely is like, definitely without a doubt are kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
But without a doubt is more, usable with the sentence, I think.
Okay, so let's read it in the sentence. The rattlesnake quickly slithered off the bike path. Without a doubt, they are just as scared of us.
It can't be used.
Yeah, that would work.
Even though they're all tricky because they're all really
They
sensible.
all would work.
Yeah. She quickly dropped the hot plate blank. It had been in the microwave for too long. She quickly dropped the hot plate because after all, no, we can't use after all. Clearly would look like that person's like, makes that person look bad.
So like she made a mistake by picking it up.
She quickly dropped the hot plate because it was been in the microwave for too long. I think it's because.
Well, I think you picked up on this strategy pretty quickly.
Is there more?
So, you want to do some more? Okay. All right, there's a couple more.
In Arab country,
In European.
In European country, they played cricket, which is blank basketball, which is similar to basketball.
Baseball.
I think before even looking at it, I think it's similar.
Okay.
It's similar.
All right, but take a look at the other answers
But
too.
let's just say look.
All right, just off the top of your head, that would be your first choice.
Similar to,
Okay.
like to basketball, much like. I think it's similar.
Okay.
It makes more sense. Like there's sometimes when it's just that you have to read the whole thing, but that is definitely right.
That one just jumped right at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The attempt of snowballs finally ended with a hurt feelings. Blank. Megan came back to the house. Okay. The snowball fight ended with a hard fell. The conclusion, Megan came. Finally, the conclusion. In the event, Megan came along. It's between the two. In the conclusion, Megan came. Finally ended with a hurt
feelings.
Like, finally, Megan came back to the house. In the conclusion.
Okay.
Because the finally will go with it, but it will go with the other sentence. It will make this, when I tried to read it, the whole thing, about them not feeling good and Megan coming back, that would be together.
Really tie it together.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I want you to think about is how you can use this strategy and some of these words in the essay that you wrote. So let's just see. Like, so here's some of the words, right? As well as, and, along with, in addition to, because since we're talking about, additional reasons, or on the other hand. So why don't you read the first two sentences and see if there's a way.
Okay, I still think that Pluto is not a planet. And then also, I still think that Pluto is not a planet. Also, Pluto is a dwarf planet, which makes it a small planet.
Okay.
For the second one,
I've also put the word, right, also in there.
You could erase because also.
Yeah, you could just cross it in.
Also, okay, for the second question, we can say, scientists prove the following Neptune orbit, which is the other planet, which the other planets don't do.
So that kind of stands alone.
Besides is besides. We can use besides.
Okay.
Besides, it is not a rocky or gassy, and it has different characteristics.
Okay.
Pluto cannot stick.
So maybe could we stick a word in there?
Let's see. In addition, we can use addition.
Additionally.
Because that makes it like when you write a story, it has, people say when it has more information, it makes it more easy to understand.
Okay.
And more helpful. So we can say, we stop in different characters, so we can say in a addition. Wait, addition. It's T-I-O-N-L. Addition.
Oh, it would be additionally or in addition, not
And
both.
in
So, yeah, just
in
addition.
addition.
No, take out the N,
And
just additionally. Yeah, you don't need this word at all, just that one word by itself, the capital A.
Oh.
Yeah, so make it a capital A, additionally.
Additionally, Pluto could not get stuck. Pluto could get stuck in Neptune's orbit and burn up. Because they.
Okay, well, so that was good, so you put additionally. So let's read the next
Additionally,
sentence first.
Additionally, Pluto could get stuck and burned up.
Okay, so read the next sentence and see if it needs anything.
Pluto has
5 moons.
5 moons, but it doesn't mean that they have. Pluto has 5 moons, but it doesn't mean that having moons makes it a planet.
Okay.
So we can say Pluto has five moons, but it doesn't. But do we do the
Nevertheless,
nevertheless?
because then now it's opposition, right? Because it's
Yeah,
saying it does have
yeah.
5 moons, but
Pluto has 5 moons. But I could use that, and we could use
conversely, on the other hand, any one of these.
Nevertheless does not mean that it has moon or planets. Some dwarf planets, because we can say almost no. Some dwarf planets have moons that make them planets. We can do some dwarf planets have moons, but we could use but
Okay.
that doesn't mean that
That's
makes
right,
them
doesn't.
Oh.
It did.
doesn't make them a planet. Scientists have worked so hard for
So now we're doing like a conclusion.
For more than 30 years. So we can use